All right, at the Qualcomm Carnival here in the National Capital Region. I'm joined by the group CMO, Don McGuire. Thank you, Don, for speaking to us at Business Today TV. A huge opportunity now waits for you, considering you have started your big expansion into India. You're just hearing you talking about how big the India story is. Tell us what you envision as a CMO for the brand in India.
Sure. Well, I mean, look, I have the great honor and privilege of stewarding both the Qualcomm and the Snapdragon brands globally. So from that perspective, we're always looking at how we're going to move the brands forward. And then our next sort of layer of that effort is really how it manifests itself regionally or locally in the regions where we see business opportunity. India is a massive business opportunity for the company, for both the Qualcomm brand as a corporation, as well as the Snapdragon brand, delivering experiences to consumers across product categories. So we see huge opportunity here in India. We've got a great new effort underway to lean in on brand building and connecting with more Indian consumers as Indians seek out and are aspiring to use devices that deliver better experiences for their daily lives or allow them to explore their passions in new ways.
All right, but when you've spoken about earlier as well at the India Mobile Congress, the event happened in India. Mr. Soin was mentioning about the plant that's been set up in Sanand in Gujarat, and with other investments into the Indian markets. I want to ask you, how are you placed? How are you placing your bets in what all segments? You are into mobile, you're into laptops, you're into auto now. What 2 to 3 segments is now Snapdragon focusing, Qualcomm is focusing on in particular to create an influx and eventually capture a good market share?
Yeah, so we look at a recipe kind of for success when we decide to enter a category. One is that category undergoing some sort of transformation. Is there an inflection point where our technology can be disruptive? And do we have the opportunity to grow market share? So we actually have explored that across different product categories. One of the most recent is the PC. And we've just entered into the PC market because we see that inflection point happening with the advent of AI. And for our technology to be disruptive, to actually change the way PCs are used and the way that consumers use their devices going forward. So that is an opportunity for Snapdragon. Automotive is another huge opportunity. Obviously, the digital transformation of the automotive industry is happening beyond electrification. It's really about software-defined vehicles and bringing new experiences into the car as the car becomes another living space, so to speak. So we see a huge opportunity. We've got a huge pipeline in automotive, great Indian partners, and it's not just about four-wheelers, but it's also about two-wheelers. And so that's a unique proposition for the Indian market that we see where our Snapdragon platforms have become more applicable is in the two-wheel market.
Also, towards my last two set of questions, Don, talking about wearable segment, you just mentioned that breaking the monopoly of Apple and Google is a little difficult. That's why you're trying to stay away from the watch segments in particular. Any particular segment like a T-shirt you were talking about is probably that segment. Are you looking into wearables in India? Any idea on what that segment plays?
Well, I think, wearables as a category is evolving and being redefined kind of every day. We see opportunities, and even glasses can be considered a wearable. We see a huge opportunity in augmented reality and spatial computing. I think over the next couple of years, we're going to see that category really start to scale. With products like the Meta Ray-Bans and other amazing products that have come to market. So we see that as a growth opportunity that today still may seem nascent, but we see that expanding really, really quickly. And then we see our technology being applicable as wearables become defined as clothing, as wristbands, as AI pins, as other types of things. And with AI being another layer that is going to be the way people interact with their computing spaces in order to experience what they want to experience, that creates an opportunity not only for our platforms, but a whole ecosystem of developers to develop new user experiences.
And last question finally, Don, when it comes to, the US developments, we have Mr. Trump coming over, plus, China plus one strategy is also coming over. How is the company placed to place its bets on India and, of course, globally?
We work really, really closely with all of the governments where we do business, and we see that our technology is valuable regardless of who might be in office at any given time. So we're really happy with where we stand with regards to making sure that our technology is applicable for people around the world and working with in those regulatory environments to make sure we do it in an ethical way with integrity and within the realm of delivering on what we can from a technology
And
perspective.
have you told the government of India and the state governments here that Snapdragon is going big? Have you have you done a reach out effort to them?
I think the India team is in constant contact from a GA perspective with several different people within the Indian government. And then remember, everyone's a consumer at the end of the day, so hopefully they're seeing it, right?
All right. Don, thank you so much for speaking to us at Business Today TV. Thank you so much. Thank you.